Hello, I'm Dr. Gary Robinson and I'm Senior Lecturer in Archaeology at Bangor University. And I'm just going to give you a little overview of the types of courses and what's on offer in terms of archaeology and heritage at the university. Well, first thing is, what is archaeology? Well, archaeology is the study of the past. So just like history, it's a study of the past, but rather than relying on the written record and the sort of the literate classes, if you like, it's very much about looking at the things left behind by people in the past. So this can be things like stone tools and pottery, through to things like castles and buildings and burial monuments, a range of different types of sites and material, but also can be the more ephemeral archaeological remains, things like looking at pollen or looking at plant remains from the past, and in order to reconstruct past environments. And we look at a range of a very wide range of archaeological periods, from prehistory right up onto the contemporary world into the 20th century. So archaeology is not just about the distant past, but is equally about the more recent past. Now, heritage is a very closely related subject to both history and to archaeology, and it's very much about interpreting the past and the present. And what I mean by this is that the past doesn't really exist anymore, and the past only exists within the present, and we're constantly reinterpreting and rethinking about what it would have been like in the past. So rather than being something which is solid, it's something which is quite malleable. And the way that we interpret, or particularly the way that we portray the past at heritage sites, at stately homes or at castles or in museums, says more about our contemporary world than it does about anything to do with the past. So heritage is about politics. It's about the way that we visualize the past for a general public. Now, in the first year at Bangor, there's a range of different introductory courses. So we have an introduction to archaeological principles and techniques, which introduces you to archaeology, to what archaeology is, to what archaeologists study and how they study it, and also an introduction to history and heritage, which looks at this distinction between the historical record, the past, and the way that we present the past in particular to the wider public, and this process of reinvention. We also have a practical course which is held at our site at Henvice, which is a research centre owned by or run by Natural Sciences, which is owned by the university, which is this swathe of land from the coast right up to almost 1,000 metres above sea level. And we use this in order to teach basic archaeological skills of excavation and particularly of field survey. In your second and third year, we have another wide range of modules on offer, everything from prehistoric archaeology through to contemporary archaeology, and these more methodological or thematic courses on archaeological techniques, a course called Field Archaeology in Britain, which further hones your practical skills, to courses like experimental archaeology, which thinks about how we recreate the past through a whole series of experiments, so looking at things like Bronze Age metal smelting. We have courses on coastal and maritime archaeology, so a wide range of different courses in archaeology. And similarly within history, within history and heritage, we have courses which look at aspects of heritage management, looking at identity and heritage, how the past is used to sort of create senses of identity, of Welshness, of Scottishness, of different forms of identity. In the third year of your degree programme, you'll do a dissertation, and this will be on an archaeological topic, and you'll be helped through that process by being allocated a dissertation supervisor. Now, talking a little bit about archaeological skills, because I think this is really important, and at Bangor it's particularly important because this is our one resource that we have which no other university can really compete with, and that is our location. Our location next to the sea in Wales on the edge of Snowdonia. And this allows us access to some world-class archaeological sites, archaeological and heritage sites. So we've got the whole Snowdonia Range, the whole Snowdonia National Park right on our doorstep, with these pristine landscapes containing prehistoric and historic sites that we can use for teaching in terms of taking field trips, having seminars in the field, but also to carry out archaeological projects and archaeological excavations. We have Anglesey with a whole series of historic and prehistoric sites, in particular a series of prehistoric burial monuments. And of course we have the World Heritage sites of Carnarvon Castle and Conwy Castle and Beaumaris Castle. And more recently there's the World Heritage application for World Heritage status for the slate quarries, the slate industry of North Wales. So right on our doorstep, within sort of 10 minutes in a minibus, we can be at some sort of world-class archaeological and heritage sites which we use within our teaching. In terms of excavations and fieldwork, we have excavations which are run within the school, research projects which you can get involved with, but also we have opportunities to get involved in projects which are run through the university but with outside organisations. So an example of that would be this summer our students are excavating an Iron Age hill fort called Dinas Dinlley. This is a really important prehistoric site which is also mentioned in some of the Welsh legends in the Mabinogion, and so gaining really good archaeological survey and excavation skills working at this really important site. But also of interest is that the site is slowly being eroded away by the sea, and this is a topic that we're starting to focus in on, and this is this growing topic of to do with climate change and the way that climate change is altering the archaeological record. So thinking about the processes involved, but also thinking about how these sites are managed into the future. So I hope you get the opportunity to come to Bangor at some point. I realise that these are very difficult and strange times at the moment. If you have any questions about any of the degree programmes or about any information about Bangor or the courses that we offer, just get in contact with me and I'll get back to you and we can have a little chat about what we do. So thank you for listening, and hopefully we'll see you very soon.